one. Holy crap. We got a guest on that Potter and I are just nerding out over. Crpyto K in his DeFi macro view. Let's do it! Welcome back to the channel where we build financial power. My name is Matt and this is
Potter.
If you are new to this here channel, we drop a video every Thursday, Friday, 10 Eastern. And today we are truly nerding out. I've been watching this creator in this space. This is one of the trusted voices that I listen to. I think I've mentioned that in the past. This is one of those people, and I'm stupid excited to have him on. I know Potter is as well. Potter, before we dive into it, though, how you feeling? How you doing?
I'm good. How many weeks? Nearly didn't happen this week. It was going to be 3 weeks in a row that, we tried to put this together, but.
Yes. If you are, if you are somehow not familiar with this person, it is
Crpyto K and today.
And that was pulled from one of his videos. So thank you for coming on, SK. I really, really appreciate it.
Wow. Hello, everybody.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, that's a really cool little snippet you took there. I appreciate that. But no, thank you for getting the name right too. It is Crpyto K. So many people go like, oh yeah, SK Crypto or SK Cryptok. But it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Heck yeah. Awesome. So if, for the 6 people of you in our audience that don't know who this guy is, I highly encourage you to go check his channel out. We will be plugging it in the description below. But Potter reached out to him and graciously he wanted to come on. So what we wanted to do is pick his brain about his overall DeFi macro view. And I wanted to dig into some other areas too of being a creator and all that. But Potter, fire away. Let's start us off. Let's dig into this guy.
Well, my history with Crpyto K started, in drip, and I couldn't find anybody who was talking about drip. And, all of a sudden this guy comes on with, these voices, and I'm like,
hey, I'm more than just a boy.
There it is.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that little guy.
Yeah. And so, at first I was like, I'm trying to be serious, and I didn't think I liked it. But then, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, he did a video without it, and I was like, oh. And he had a rap song that I messaged him about. I was like, hey, the rap song, cute, but you should probably give it a rest. Now I look forward to the start of his videos because I love that rap song.
It's Potter, you took the words out of my mouth. What I was going to make sure I told him was, SK, I want you to know, I couldn't stand your videos in the very beginning, but you had fantastic information and those voices. I was like, what is he doing? What is the point of this? But every time I walked away from the video, I remembered the points he was making. And I was like, he's a genius. It is genius.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that, but yeah, my retention was perfect with him.
Absolutely. And now I wouldn't know what to do if I didn't hear those voices. So anyway, yeah. How did you how'd you come up with those voices?
Wow, that's awesome. A really good question. I appreciate you guys for sticking with me and at least watching and then learning and appreciating, what I strive to do. Because much like everyone here probably listening and even y'all, but when it came to learning about crypto, one of the first places you turn to is what? YouTube.
Absolutely.
Right. And you've already got a number of, crypto tubers, I call them, that, all kind of do the same thing. Many of them are in different walks of their career there. But one thing I noticed with many of them is as I'm trying to learn stuff, I'm having a hard time jumping from content creator to content creator and then, having my eyes not glaze over. Eventually you get a point of monotony. And the same drab, you clearly got people out there that are talented, and then some that are just a little ho-hum, I just want to do this for referrals, and you could tell, you could separate them out. Sure. But but before I jumped into the crypto tuber arena, I was a content creator, video game streaming and hanging out with people for years. I was partnered over on Mixer before that got shut down. Mixer was a competing platform to Twitch.
Okay.
And then I also got partnered on Facebook Gaming, and and to even become partner, okay, that's not just something they just give out to
Correct.
anybody. It takes a lot of talent to get that, and so I recognized I had that. I also have kind of a natural salesman knack ability for things that I believe in. So when I combined that and entered the crypto space, when I first learned and I had the aha moment with crypto, I mean, it just changed my life. And I just had to use my ability to do the same for others. Like, I want people to understand it the way I do. And, you have to break it down into layman's terms. And I think I have a pretty good ability at that. But I also wanted to shake it up with stuff that I was already doing as a streamer. And that was these stupid little voices, you know what I mean? Like, it's just exactly like you said, Matt, and I'll end the point here, but it's like, I did it to stand out. It's not a gimmick, but there's a whole point to it, right? It's as soon as your eyes start to glaze over, boom, I smack you in the face with a voice, right? So,
Smart. So smart.
or I give you a little jingle or hip hop beat in the background. So like, if you stop paying attention to my words, you're at least bobbing your head to a little beat. There's like little things that there's so many elements to it and layers that, I try to get across, and people don't pick up on it till later. But at the end of the day, my personal goal is to be the most informative, yet entertaining. Like, I want you to retain stuff, and I want you to be engaged as you watch it. That's my whole goal. And if I'm doing that, then I think I'm succeeding.
So if I can continue a little bit, like after Drip, I said, what else is there? And so he was the first person to talk about the whole atmosphere, the whole ecosystem, the whole blockchain relationships between bank teller and, what Forex was doing, how it was going to work, and how bank teller created Elephant. And that's really when my respect for SK went up, because, he was kind of goofing around with Drip, getting his feet under him. And there wasn't a lot to talk about, other than, reporting what Forex said. But on this one, he had to introduce and explain a very complicated system to people.
When was this? When was this time frame you're talking about? Roundabout.
SK? When did you start covering Elephant? Last year, for sure.
Okay.
Oh, so Elephant actually, yeah. I guess let me preface everything by saying that my very first crypto DeFi project was Bankroll Flow, if you've ever heard of that, and it was on the Tron network. And a lot of people are like, "Whoa, wait a minute, that was only like a year and a half ago, dude. You sound like you've been doing this for years." And it's like, no, I mean, I just really soaked it up, and so I jumped into that, when it was at its peak, and then we all know that it still runs today. However, it's inflationary, so the value of it's completely dead. I've not even ROI'd on it, but that still birthed this idea of SK Crpyto K. There would be no content creation from me if I didn't fall in love with Bankroll Flow, right? It was my very first one. And understanding the mechanics and had it worked, and I didn't know about fixed supply and making things deflationary versus inflationary and the reactor. I didn't understand all that at the time, but I learned from that mistake, if you will. And I started to cover that. I fell in love with that, and then I became a fan of bank teller, and in addition to Drip. So my very first video, though, on my channel was actually Elephant Money. It was the very first time that site elephant.money happened, and it was a bunch of 10% in, 10% out contracts. So I covered that, and then soon after that, Drip came out, and I was like, oh, this looks a lot like Bankroll Flow, and it sounds like he's fixing everything even better. So I jumped headfirst into that, and yeah, that's kind of like the birth of this entire career that I've been on, and just growing a community and just staying true and genuine, and helping people out along the way.
You can feel it, honestly. And Potter and I have talked about that before. Like, as a creator, your intentions are going to come through in your voice. It's going to be, I honestly don't care how good of an actor you are. That audience is going to pick up eventually. They're going to pick up eventually. And that's honestly, that's why I kept coming back. Thanks to Potter, she pointed me in your direction. So Potter, keep going. My bad.
Yeah, no, it was fine. It was funny though, because I was like, oh my God, I know Matt's personality. When he sees Crpyto K, he's going to go, what the fluff and fluff is this? Right? I don't
Yeah.
even trust crypto. And you're showing me this. So, and then bank tellers projects are, they're crypto 201 or 301, So I was also introducing him to that deep end as well. So, but he kept going back, and I know that I learned from you, but I really thought that I guess I got to you on version 2. Maybe that's what I saw. Because when I got into bank teller, he was like sunsetting some old farms that he had, some old plays, and he was consolidating so that there was only elephant and trunk.
Oh yeah. So yeah, and when Elephant first came out, it was the version 1 of the staking pools, which are the 10% in, 10% out. And then soon after that, so I think Elephant Money came out in I want to say March of 21, and then by May of 21, so that's when the Elephant token itself did a fair launch liquidity drive event. And then when it came out, it was like, oh crap, I have a way to kind of boost up this Elephant token if I make these V2 farms. And so it was the same exact thing. You put in 10% in, 10% out of your BNB, Binance version of Bitcoin, Ethereum, stuff like that. But 2% out of the 10% that you put in or took out, 2% of it went into buybacks into the Elephant token. And I think that's the sunsetting of the first version 1s, as he made these version 2s that had a 2% buyback. And they started to do some, positive action on the chart there. But it wasn't until Trunk really was introduced that like things went crazy.
Yeah, the whole ecosystem that he has, like I don't necessarily understand the new economics of telling people, hey guys, trust me, get back in. If you just buy this and put this here, it's all on you. And I heard his interview with James Peloton.
Pelton,
sorry.
Pelton.
Sorry, James. It was kind of cringy because James was trying to set the level of the investors. Just want to say, hey, what can we do? And he just kept saying, I can't go tell people who've invested. And he said, I'm not to go reinvest in something that went, kaplooey, not because it was one of the most organized attacks that we've ever seen in DeFi, but what could he say? And the explanations I heard they didn't make me comfy, but what made me comfy was all the stuff that I know from you, right? Like if you follow the data and you understand the system, it's a no-brainer. It's just it's not a get rich overnight kind of thing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. So fast forward, I guess we're talking about the exploit period, right? Like that's when it went kaplooey. That's what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, when you followed the trajectory of bank teller, even last year, right, and things didn't go right with flow, and we all kind of understand that BT is a coder at heart. Okay, he's an MIT graduate. The dude's smart as shit. Okay.
Yeah, that's obvious.
Yeah, it's obvious. Like that he'll go on rambles.
At Fidelity, right?
Yeah, Fidelity, fintech. I mean, he was an executive at these firms. Like this dude knows economics like the back of his hand, and he sees DeFi as one of those ways to solve his own mantra, which is cash flow for all. Now, he's been a coder since age 10. He's human though. He makes mistakes, but also at the same time with the James Pelton interview, he's not the most socially savvy in every regard, right? Like investors who may have lost some money, they just want like quick answers, quick fixes. Hey, what are you gonna do? Blah blah blah. And he's explaining to you what to do. The problem is that he's going into such great detail, and that's how his mind works, that it doesn't come across as like empathetic. It doesn't come across as how you want to hear it. So he tapped into me quite a while back. I've been making videos for a long time, and you know,
How did he find you?
He just there was this one Elephant Money when he made a BUSD version 2 pool or something, and he was like covered the version 2 pools, and the winner of this YouTube contest will win 100 BUSD or 150 BUSD, something like that. And I was like, oh, cool, my first competition. Let me try this. So I made it and I won, and then that's the first time he ever DM'd me when he was like, hey man, you know, you won. And what's your wallet address? And I won 150 US or BUSD. And I was like, okay, sweet. And,
cool.
and that was pretty much it. Like, I didn't like talk with them. I didn't fanboy out or whatever about like, but you know, I respected it. It was really cool. But I think that's when I got his attention. And, you know, later on, then he just kind of realized, hey, you know, like, you know, I'm not with all the hip voices and whatnot, but you have, he said to me, like, you have an energy that captures the youth. And
that's a good point too.
You've got this vibe about you that you break things down in a certain way. And like, whether people like the music, the voices or whatever, the content you make stands out. And he respected that. So he kind of tapped into that for me or with me. And ever since then, like, we've just been like hanging out. Like I can talk, I can call him up right now and he'll answer. You want him on the show? I'll get him on right now. Like it's really cool. We have a good rapport. And
that's cool.
Yeah, with the relationship we've had, it also gave me the opportunity to understand the system. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm able to break it down so well. And I know his frame of thinking. And you know, anytime I don't understand anything, he'll answer it for me. Or if I kind of listen to some stuff and there might be a cringe moment, you know, I get it and I know how to spin it my way to get across the same point he's trying to say, but just in, you know, the SK version. So
okay,
right, Matt.
Well, yeah. So where my head has been, we were on a point a minute ago. I don't want to switch gears completely. So, but you know, you said you've been a creator beyond. I like how you said that. What did you say, a cryptuber?
Yeah, crypto tubers.
Cryptotuber. Yeah. I like that. I like that. So you've done more than just being a crypto tuber. So you obviously have your hand in understanding, you know, what it takes to be a successful creator.
I thought he was going to say sex symbol. I was like, wow.
I was literally going to say sex symbol. Oh my god.
Wow, that's a whole new venture right there.
There are other platforms for that, but what I want to know is, obviously DeFi is the wild, wild west, and you know, Potter's always said it to me. Basically, you're in a trustless system, and you have to sort of lend a little bit of trust. And creators, notoriously, I'm not going to say notoriously, I think naturally, you know, they are salesmen, and they can't help but come off at times of, are they genuine or are they not? You know, I think at Facebook, it's kind of different times, especially for new people that are skeptical. So I guess the question is this: obviously you've run into that in your experience of being a creator. How have you dealt with coming across as staying authentic, coming across as, I'm here for you, the viewer, I'm not here for the referral? Because into crypto, I was like, who the heck can I trust? Like, how have you dealt with that?
Right. That's an interesting question, because so I guess the way it's framed too is I would have had to have experienced questioning such as that. And to be honest with you, I haven't.
Good.
And the reason is because, you know, I think anyone who vibes with me or whatever really pays attention to what I'm saying. When they join my Telegram community, okay, and they see that I'm active in there, I'm not only talking about people and giving real thoughts and opinions, but I'm in DMs all the time, like helping people. Like, oh, you know, you accidentally sent this to the wrong address. Okay, boom, you know, here's a little something, whatever. Like, there's so much stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people don't know or see unless the person I helped advertises it. It just goes unnoticed. I don't say anything.
Sure.
I genuinely just, I don't care about referrals. Like, I do this because I feel like it's my calling. I feel like crypto has changed my life. I love it. I love it. And I just want everyone to love it as much as me. And so all I do is have fun when I make content. Like, you know, it's crazy because I watch some other, you know, YouTubers, and I won't say any names, but like when I first get past their intro and the first thing they're talking about is, you know, yeah, join the mafia, blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, we do airdrops every week. And like, yeah, we got receipts to show for it. It's like, why are you opening up your content with that shit? Like, you know, if you pay attention to any of my videos, I don't say like, subscribe, comment, none of that till the end, right? I have to earn your shit. So you watch my content. If you like it, then I pop it at the end. If you vibe with me and would like to join my Telegram community, find the link in the description below. Like, I have that shit memorized, but like I say everything at the end. And then I always say, like, if you would like to use my referral link, then thank you in advance. You know, I don't do it for that. I promote shit that doesn't even have referral links. Elephant token itself, you know, like I talk about that because I love it. And then there's no referral on Elephant. Well, now there is, I guess, technically with the most recent changes, but for the last year, there hasn't been. I just want to promote it because like it's an innovative system. But no. I think honestly, if either of you two, Matt or Potter, were to go into my Telegram community and just DM 15 random people and be like, yo, what are your honest thoughts of SK? I'll let them answer for me. But like, you know, it's easy to be authentic when you're authentic. I don't think I have to fake. I don't have to act. It just is what it is. So yeah.
Well,
Value.
you stay out of the noise too, which makes it super easy just to listen to your content, you know, only.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you.
That's a huge one. One of the things that Matt is kind of going through right now, and I've gone through it, and I want to know if you went through it. That point, like right now in the bear. See, unfortunately, Matt got in and Drip took the fluff off. And I'm like,
I was fortunate. I was
like, no, because
No.
I wanted him to see the grind. Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
No, I was fortunate. I got in and around, you know, like $20. I was super fortunate. It shot up, then it came down. And like, I'm grateful for it without a doubt. Drip,
You're breaking
like
up
the
a lot.
one fantastic this image here.
I mean, I still made out most of what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, bear
Go ahead.
market. That's ultimately a bear market. You know, that's where you win, and I understand that because of the wild. It's definitely a certain level of like Drip is probably what I'm trying the most at the same time in a trustless world. So yeah.
Right. So you're kind of breaking up a little bit too, Matt. But SK, I was wondering, you know, you have to have people, you talk about your group, you have to have people who've gotten in and they get wrecked, right? Matt didn't get wrecked, but at the same time, I remember going through it, you know, like I had my job and I was going, oh, is this good? And you experience the down, and then, you know, people don't say what they're going to do. You know, things don't follow through. People do stupid stuff. There's bad guys. And so it's fatiguing when you're not technical, when you want to build, but you can't see, is this thing real? I feel like you do. I know it's real. I know it's going to go. And Matt doesn't ever question the technology that is going to be here, but maybe DeFi, you know, like, how did you make it through that? How do you counsel people through that?
Correct.
No, very, very good question, actually. Yeah, so I've seen a number of different perspectives out there, and it's not really my job or goal to change people's opinions. I only share my experience. Like that's all YouTube is just cataloging what I'm in and explaining it so you understand it and can make an informed decision. Now, when people are in my group, you know, like Drip, you know, Hot Topic, for example, right now you got two warring factions. You got the folks that were in early and they love Drip to the end of time because they saw the run ups and the rundowns, and you know, it's on another downtrend, but whatever. But then you got the second camp of people that got in when it was really high and now it's really low, and oh man, my investment's shit, what's this, and Animal Farm's locked up, Forex is trash, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, I mean, you see all of that, and I don't try to I don't go into all of that stuff. I just share my perspective, which, you know, my opinion is that everything goes in cycles. I think that Drip even down right now is going to go back up. I think Elephant even down right now is going to go back up. I just share my perspective, my patience, and I'm a very patient dude. I do have a day job. You know, I don't rely on crypto for my well-being and my day-to-day living. But everyone's situation's different, so I can't relate to those folks who do live off of crypto, and so I can only offer but
You
so
mean
much
me?
perspective. Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So, but as long as everyone's smart and they have a plan and they follow some general guidelines, which is quit your day job when you have X amount of money set aside for rainy days, like as long as you're doing all that, you should be fine. But yeah, the people that want to go to war and go to town on devs and stuff, I don't subscribe to any of that crap. Like all it does is to me ruin DeFi. I'm all about just like people collaborating and then people just being patient because like you said, investing now creates millionaires later. But yeah, I pretty much just share my perspective, and I'm a very empathetic person. So in my day job, I'm a manager. I've been dealing with grown men 2-3 times my age, in whatever scenario. And so I'm empathetic. I vibe with a lot of different people. I know how to talk to different people as I get to know them. And so how I guide people really is just sharing my experience and giving them the glass half full kind of view. And whether they accept it or not, that's on them. But yeah, I just try to keep things positive and good vibes only. That way, hopefully it's contagious and everyone just starts to vibe off of that, because negativity breeds negativity. So
Yes,
don't do it.
we see the Telegram as proof of that.
Yes.
But I was specifically asking. Then let me pull it back. I did kind of conflate some stuff, but what about you? Like, did you ever experience it? I experienced it when I was like, oh man, this thing is awesome. It's the best thing ever. Man, this thing sucks. It doesn't work. Like, people are just bad. Like, there are just so many bad actors out there. I'll come back later. I told you what brought me in was God, right? And me getting signs that I was like, ooh, I don't want to regret this move, right?
Yeah.
So I get that my walk might be different, but at the same time, even through that walk, I was still going, I don't know if this is right. So I can relate with what Matt's going through, but at the same time, I want to go push, just go.
Yeah. I gotcha. So you're more so asking if I've experienced personally some like crazy scam scum
or
shit.
Any negative where you're just like, you know what, I'm done, I'm out.
Yeah, well, and another way to sort of put it would be, have you experienced in DeFi any major cuts, any major scars that have been like the best lesson for you to keep going? Maybe that's a different way to put it.
Yeah,
Same
thank
thing
you,
Potter's
Matt.
saying though.
Yeah, especially in like actually, yeah, there's a lot of experiences there, but some of my very first ones I'll share, and shit, I may have made them unlisted or not, but some of my very earliest videos were when I got into these straight up Ponzi's. Like I think one of them was called like BNB 25, and it was one of those things where it's like, okay, give us your BNB, and if you lock it in for 3 days, you're gonna get 200%. If you lock it in for 7 days,
Those dApps
you're gonna get 500%. Yeah, if you lock it in for 14 days, you're gonna get 2,000%. Like, you remember those ones? And I remember some of my earliest losses were in stuff like that. And gosh, I put in so much money, and this is at the point where I was still onboarding fresh capital from my paycheck. Like nowadays I can just like bounce between different contracts and like get into new things, but like back then that was like hard-earned money at that time. And it made me sour, especially early on. I'm like, man, what is this crypto crap? It's the wild west. And I was defeated, but I just kind of got through it with some of my friends who also lost money in the same things that we were in. And really it was just like, okay, I had to really temper my view and just be like, that is what you don't want to do. That is exactly the style contract I never want to get into again. It's just one of those learning experiences. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's like, I lost money there. I will never do that specific thing again. And let me find and make some new friends and get into some more trusted projects. So it really just kind of guided me more than anything. And then I've also been bamboozled by straight up contracts that looked fantastic. I'll talk about one called Ronin Games. I was actually tasked and I was on their staff. They had me run their YouTube channel, and they loved my content. The founders and everything sounded great, But
Oh,
then when, after launch, everything just really went bad. Like they didn't know what they were doing. And then it ultimately, like 2 months after launch, ended up rugging. And by that time I was already gone from it. I left because it just was too much toxicity and negativity. So I left. But they rugged, and it's just like, well, shit, I had a lot of money in that too, and I lost it. It's like, well, okay, I learned something from that too. Like, don't trust, yada yada yada, just because it's a new shiny toy. Don't trust it. So if anything, it's really made me today kind of just hunker down on what I know works, which I know is things like Drip and Elephant, and now Furio's, looking like the nice new shiny toy. But you kind of recognize patterns on what works and what doesn't. And yes, I've had some rugs. I've lost a lot of money, but me personally, I don't let it get me down. I just learn from it, move on, and try again. I take whatever losses I had, and I just try to make it up someplace else. And with patience, you have to have patience in all of this stuff, because if you're just looking for a quick buck, you're going to be disappointed. But if you have a long-term view like I do, nothing really bothers me that much. I don't really get that negative in crypto.
I like it. Potter, it looks like your mic is off.
I like to go into a DeFi project with $5, $50. I want to grow it. I don't want to go in with $1,000 and pay myself back thinking I'm making money for a month.
Yeah.
Right. To me,
Yeah,
it's really growing it. But when you talk about, a long trust, I hate self rugs. We'll get back to that. But one of the big ones was this guy, Hex. That was one when I came in, everybody was like, Hexicans, but it was just dying out. And yeah, when I came in, it was just starting to get the negative press like Animal Farm is getting now, right? It was just like, oh, if you were brand new, there was no way you were going near it, right? And so now you're working with Hex. Were you there at the beginning as well, or is this a new venture that you're working with them on?
You talking about Hex?
Mm-hmm, Hex.
I never worked with Hex, but I did get into it when all the hype was happening a year ago, actually.
Then what is
you're talking about
Rex?
Rex.
Rex, my bad.
With
Rex.
R.
It was Rex. My bad. I'll change that.
Yeah. So, but first, back to Hex. I did put a 1-year stake about a year ago. I should go check that out. I think it ends in August. But I did get into the hype of Hex. But Rex more recently, that project's only been out for 3 weeks, and it's a different model in a certain respect versus Hex and Avarice and whatnot. It's because the stakes are meant to be more long term, but the main reason right now to get into Hex and the auctions is those daily big
Hex
paydays.
or Rex?
Rex on BSC.
Okay.
That one has a new mechanic that the others don't have called a big payday. And all it is whatever auction amount you enter with. If you, like Potter, if today you put in $300 into a Rex auction, then starting tomorrow, you will be eligible to win a daily lottery of up to your $300 back every single day for the next 200 days. And you can win it multiple times over. So you'll get your Rex winnings from an auction, and you'll stake it for 222 days or longer, and you're also eligible to get your $300 back every single day. I mean, geez, if you won it every single day, you get $300 every single day, which statistically won't happen every day, but statistically you will win at least one big payday. So you'll at least ROI your 300 BUSD.
Have you won?
And have I won?
What?
Oh my god! Yeah, I won it.
That was perfect.
Dude, I won it like 10 times.
It's crazy. So, I was there early on, and I only got in because I have a friend named Kelly who was in, and Kelly is very respected. I've seen her in a lot of different projects and groups, and I got in kind of based on trusting me personally, and I got in with a $1,500 investment on day one, and I was like, okay, let me see how this goes. And the very next day, day two, I walked away with like 5 winnings off of that $1,500 back. So
how, with people going in with thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands, did you make it out with? How did you win?
Oh gosh, I basically by day 3 I had won like $7,500 back off of just my
What?
$1,500 investment. Yeah, that BPD hits you every single time. Like you're eligible every time it pays out.
But how do you win that much?
Yeah, I just got lucky.
Okay.
Honestly, I just got lucky. And but you know, when I gauged the community, a number of the folks that I think that got in. So let's say 15 people got in underneath me.
Mhm.
I'd say at least 10 of them, has also won a BPD, which means they got their ROI back. And if they won it
Nice.
more than one time, they're already in profit as well. And their stakes are still active. So those stakes in 200 whatever days might, you know, actually be very lucrative for them too. So Rex is actually doing fine in my opinion for a bear market. I mean, the chart's different because a lot of pre-sellers are selling and the chart looks a little meh, but it's a long-term play, honestly. But the big payday aspect of it is what you get into the auction for, and that's how you quickly ROI. And the stakes are, you should consider them more of a long-term thing. Yeah.
So is it like Avarice or at AVAX land where, hey, you really want to be on the first day? If you're not in the first day,
Yeah. So a lot of those Avarice specifically, you definitely want to be in on the first week to really get your ROI plus profit. Anything after that week, what I've learned now is more of it's up to that team and how they're marketing it. If they're not getting people putting in fresh dollars every single day after that first week, it's questionable. Like your ROI period is going to be longer. So but they
what's
do it
different
differently
about
than
Rex?
Rex is all their stakes. Okay, so what Avarice does is they take all the money that comes in every day on the auction, and you can only get the tokens on the auction. But
Okay, that's
all
like
of that money,
Avarice.
yeah, that's what Avarice does. Avarice does this every day. The money that comes in daily gets divvied out and divided out by like X amount of days going forward. So like if you entered Avarice today and they've had $1 million come into it, they divide the $1 million by God, at this point like 40 days. I think we're day 40 in or something, and they divide it by 40 days and they distribute it out every single day. It's kind of hard to explain, but every single day divs are locked in to whoever's got an active stake at that exact time. And those divs are locked in, and you will get paid the amount of divs you see at the end of your stake.
Yeah.
Rex is different. They don't divvy out the daily pool of money every single day per amount of stakes active. What they do is 75% of the money that came into the auction that day is set aside for that lottery every single day. And the other big difference is that Rex is available on the open market. Avarice is not. So you can buy Rex on PancakeSwap, and they're banking on price appreciation based on trading to have those stakes worth a damn, whenever they expire, 200 days out or whatever.
I'll play it then. I'll give it a try. You know, we're at the level. Well, I'm at the level where, you know, I can't go big, you know, because I'm living off of crypto, right? So
Yeah.
whereas I'm investing thousands into crypto every month, you know, living off of that and investing, it's a little bit different. So it's kind of funny because when things were up, it didn't matter. But now that they're back, thank God I had last year when I was making it with $50 trying to grow it, you know, because now that I do have hundreds of dollars to turn this into thousands, you know, but I don't have necessarily $1,500 that I don't want to see going to drip, you know what I mean? Or going to Animal Farm, because those are the ecosystems that I'm the most familiar with.
No, I'm with you. I think I know where you're coming from. So like, let me rewind too. Everything that, in my Telegram community, when I put something out there, it's usually prefaced with, hey, this is more of a risky play or more of a solid play. What I've kind of learned now with Avarice and whatnot is that, I put it out there as a solid play because the devs are trusted and a lot of people are behind it. So I know it's trusted, but that doesn't mean I know that it has longevity.
Yeah.
I just know that it's not going to rug. And so, but in hindsight, 2020, you look at it, it's like, oh, well, okay, maybe it was still kind of risky because it kind of tapered off after 2 weeks. So, that's kind of up to everyone else's due diligence. And, that's why also I kind of promote out there, like kind of like celebrity lists, right? You got your A list, your B list, your D list celebrities, you know. It's the same thing with crypto. Like, so my A tier has always been the same: Drip and Elephant. Those are the only two that I consider in my A list celebrity crypto projects. If you ask me about all these other ones, like even Piston, I love Piston, I love Furio, I love all of these other ROI dApps that are trying to innovate on top of Drip, but they are not in my A list. Okay, they're hot, they're cool, but they ain't AAA. They haven't been around long enough to make it up there. You know, they don't have the longevity. So when you look at things like Rex and Avarice, like they ain't up there on the A list either. You know, they're just kind of like safer plays. I know they won't rug because I trust some people, but I can't guarantee you're going to make money on it. So like that's an important disclaimer out there to put too, especially in a bear market. You really need to make sure that you know, you're getting into something that you trust, but that doesn't, just because you trust it doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna make bank on it either. So
yeah, Matt, do you have anything? Because I have another.
No,
question.
I like that.
Okay.
No, go. Yeah.
So
I
then
like
what about Animal Farm? Like I Piggy Bank, I've done the research. Piggy Bank works. Piggy Bank really works. But people are using emotions over numbers.
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
that's kind of a harder one even for me. But Piggy Bank works because they take the idea of time locked staking, right? That's the same thing that made Hex a success, and it's the same thing that Avarice and Rex are aiming for. Piggy Bank works mainly because it's a capital network of just not whales and minnows alike. Everybody loves Drip. Everybody has loved Drip for a very, very long time. And when you have the developer Forex creating someone or something called Animal Farm, you know, you want to get behind it because they've got a good pedigree. You know,
Right.
Drip was a success largely for a lot of people. Now, you know, things went wrong, obviously, with the Animal Farm. There were a lot of promises that may not have been delivered on. Things got paused. The piggy bank itself got sniped by a handful of people that stole a lot of first liquidity for it. So they were, you know, draining it. But and here we are, what, 4 months later, right? And I have a lot of money locked up in Animal Farm. I'm not happy about it either, but I kind of just, you know, with anything in crypto, it sucks, but you have to kind of treat, you know, once you put your money into something, you have to expect that you might lose it. And I'm not saying Animal Farm is dead, down and out forever, but yes, it does suck that a lot of our money is that way. And now you've got some allegations and stuff coming against Forex. And it's like, oh yeah, what's going to happen? Is Drip going to die now too? You know, my macro view of it all is no. I think that Drip is going to be fine. I think that the hundreds or no, the tens of thousands of people that are in Drip don't pay a damn attention to the Telegram communities. I don't think they watch all of these YouTubers either. I think that they have got in based on word of mouth. Like I can't tell you how many people at my job or people that I know in real life that are in Drip that just don't know about anything going on right now. They just want to see their money go up.
Yep.
And when that money does go up, and when Forex does unlock the Animal Farm, and when Forex turns on that marketing machine that we know he has,
Yep.
the money's gonna just print, and people are gonna shut up and just be happy.
They are.
Like, you know,
Can
right,
I tell you,
wrong, or indifferent. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, can I tell you an indicator that I saw?
Sure.
Reap. Not Reap. Reap. Reap went doubled. Yeah. It doubled. And I'm going, the only people who are in Reap are very rich people, right?
Yeah.
They know something, right? And if they knew it was the other way, you know, about allegations, yada, yada, I think there's no way the kind of money that's invested in him would stay, right? They'd be like, hey, it's been nice. But you're right. When he turns this dadgum thing on, you know, I'm hoping that people will, if he turns the dadgum thing on, that people will go, look at the numbers. You don't just use the system. It's like in music appreciation, the first thing you learn is appreciate the artist, the music, not the artist, right? Because if you do some digging into the artist, you're probably not going to like him, you know, like him or her.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, I am in this to build financial freedom. We talked about, you know, the hotel hospital. that is the ultimate goal of all of this. And that's what I'm here for. So if, he does stupid stuff, or anybody does stupid stuff, or gets involved in squabbles, I don't care. I just want the system to work.
Yep.
Right. And so,
Exactly.
but you still have to be patient. And it's so hard when all you've seen, and a lot of people have, SK, they didn't get to see our 2021. Right.
No.
They've only seen late 2021 into now.
Yeah.
And so they're just sad.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like, there's a number of people out there that don't have context of it all, like the big picture. But I'm kind of glad you said that, because it made me think of something too. Like, I'm a huge fan of Linkin Park. The rock band from the early 2000s, right? I'm showing my age here, right? Their
Right there
first
with
two
you. Right there
albums,
with you.
dude, Hybrid Theory, Meteora, like grade A,
Incredible.
top-notch stuff, right? Okay.
Yes.
But then, they came out with Minutes to Midnight or something like 2 years later, and it was like an all rock album. They're like, wait, this ain't rock and rap like it used to do. What is this?
Right. Yep.
And like they started to change their sound. And like when you listen to what they described it as, is if you keep the same thing going over and over and over, you're gonna get stagnant, and people are gonna move on. So me personally, I always stayed a Linkin Park fan to this day. Rest in peace, Chester. And I love every one of their albums, even though it didn't sound the same as the beginning. I grew and matured, and I just learned to respect what they were trying to do. And but they lost a lot of market share. A lot of their early listeners didn't follow them along, but the diehards were the diehards, and they were there. And if you kind of make that analogy to what Forex is doing, like he's made some hits, he's made some misses. And Drip obviously was their Hybrid Theory. It's the biggest selling album of all time, right? And
it's Thriller.
And Thriller. Yeah, exactly. Michael Jackson. Hey. So Animal Farm, it might be a little bit of a mess right now, but it doesn't mean it's dead and over. And I guess that's the other difference between this and music, is that these are upgradable. These can be fixed. And if you may not like the flavor of Animal Farm, then stick with Drip for now. Because everything he's trying to do right now is just going to like come back to Drip. So I think everything's just a temporary lull. I think it'll all fix itself. Yeah.
Right.
It's
Going
really
into
smart
that analogy about, the frustration, if you pay $300 for beautiful seats to a concert and the concert doesn't show, you are not happy, or it's postponed. You're not happy. Right now, augment that by a gazillion when it's your money. The level of frustration when Piggy Bank was locked with me and Forex was not good.
It was palpable.
I couldn't, I would even try. I couldn't even listen to his voice. Right. I was so angry. But then when Piggy Bank got released, I was like, okay, I'm good now. Right. And all of a sudden I became a different person. But then I messed up. And I think I told you about this in our phone call. I brought up to somebody, how well it was and how well I was doing. But what you said earlier, there's the before, early adopters, and there's the now adopters. And those now adopters are mad. Like not even, upset. They're mad.
Oh, they're upset. They're super mad. They're frustrated.
Yeah. And I don't think that has been communicated well enough to the powers that be, or because the whole thing Forex wanted to do was make it so that everybody would have money. Right. So I think the last thing a guy like that would want to do is, impact people negatively. But what he also doesn't want to do is, one, give away his ideas because he knows everybody will take them. He knows that he has to nail this launch because this is his career. Right. This is his career. And he's like, I'm not going to rush it. I don't care what you say, because this is my last shot. He messes this up, he's done. Right. So you got to respect that part. But the makeup of people is just such, happy, what is it? Open up this church and there's people, like there's just so many different feelings on him. So I'm going to change it back to something light. How did you come up with the voices? What happened when you were you're making your videos, and then all of a sudden they appear, the guys.
Yeah. No, so at first, and I think even if you go back to my very first 2 or 3 videos, I only had
the deep voice. This is the only
That
one
is
I
true.
did, you know.
and I did that just to kind of emphasize everything. So
Can I
the
be
genesis
honest?
of the
I didn't know if
voices-
that was you. I was like,
Oh,
does
yeah.
he have? I think that's got to be him because he kind of comes out of it, but I don't know. Maybe he has 3 people. I really
No.
didn't
No.
know.
See, in
It's
my
the
head
same.
being a creator, I was immediately like, all right, what deck is that dude using? I want to know what equipment he has. Like that's immediately what my head went.
It's
Yeah, I
the
couldn't tell.
Go XLR.
Yeah, the Go XLR. I got it really cheap on eBay. I was really surprised. But I mean,
Origin story.
yeah. So as a content creator, I was doing it just to kind of like have conversations about the game and be like, oh man, why are you shooting that dude? It's like, shut up, blah blah blah. But it kind of lended itself to that, and when it translated very easily to crypto, I was like, okay, cool. So I just started out with a deep voice because I wanted to talk like this for the most of it, and then whenever I wanted to hammer home at like, you know,
If you put money in, you're gonna get 365%.
you know, it just
So
comes
cool.
across like more emphatic, and like you're gonna remember that. So the deep voice is always more, even when you watch my future videos, it's an emphasize voice. Okay, I want you to hear and take away from that. Okay, and then next up, like, so a lot of other YouTubers, like if they're going from like, if they have a bullet point list and they're going from topic to topic, it's like, oh, how do you transition into a different topic? You know, you want to cover this one question the community has, but like you could just kind of, you know, roll into it like any other YouTuber would, or you can be like,
You know, oh, what? But SK, what does it mean 1% for 365? That doesn't make any sense. Can you explain?
you know, it just kind of gives it that comedic relief to be like, oh yeah, that is a question I need to pay attention to, and it gives you a nice transition point to the next, you know, topic. And so that's kind of the genesis of the voices and why I do them. I don't sprinkle in like,
You know, if I talk like this all of the time, it's going to get really, really annoying.
so
Yeah, but you
like,
created a character with him. It's not just your voice. That's
it's
why
a
I didn't know.
Yeah. But that character, even on all the most recent videos, like he's only 5% of any video, and when he comes in, he comes across as just an idiot. That's his whole existence. He's just a stupid little annoying sidekick that has a really annoying question thing, or very, you know, childish, whatever. But that's his whole point. It's just comedic relief, if anything. And I remember the first video I ever like did it, right? It was after I got rugged on that BNB 25 project I told you about. It's like,
Really?
you know, put some money in, blah 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 blah. And I think the very first video I made after that rug was drip. No. It was something else. And I opened up with, I was like,
Oh, sweet. Yeah. What money can I put or where can I put my money now next and lose a bunch of money? Let's go.
you know,
Well,
and it
you
was
know
just
what?
like, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'll cut you off. Go ahead.
No, it was just like I threw that in there just kind of as a joke. And then one of my friends was like, he still quotes that same line to this day. He's like, yeah, we're gonna lose my money, you know, next or whatever. And it stuck with him, and it served its point. And ever since he told me that, I was like, okay, I might be onto something. Like he still remembers that shit 8 months later. So that worked.
That
And
worked.
and
Well,
that's why I do it. It's just to emphasize stuff.
I'll tell you this, that, you know, I totally understand what you're saying. And I've watched and felt you use it as comedic relief. I've watched you use it as a transition point. And obviously I've picked up that voice is intended to be that character and to be point blank a moron. Like point blank's like coming in, just not
Yeah.
knowing what the hell's going on. And I don't know if you've been told this, but my perspective, I didn't take that as offense at all, because I related to that dumb little voice. I related to that inexperience, and like, yeah, what the hell does that mean, SK? What the hell does that mean? So like, it is spot on been like my voice at times, like the moron that doesn't understand it.
I knew
Yeah,
I
so-
wasn't alone. I knew it.
I'm at home. I can feel it.
I know. Like I want them to be fun, you know. I want people to relate to them, because like I try to make those poignant questions. Like I want that guy to represent the most standard questions that I see the most in Telegram. So, you know, so,
That makes sense.
yeah, it works out, and I'm glad you guys picked up on that. But I make it fun, you know. As long as 99% of the people are watching the content and you know they vibe with it and they dig it, I'm happy, right? You're always gonna get that 1% of the comments that are like, you know, you have really good information, but I can't take you seriously with those voices. It's like, okay,
Right.
you know, stay blessed. I don't need you, bro. Don't like, don't watch. Bye.
Right.
Like, I ain't
Right.
changing shit for you. Like, I do the voices because it's fun for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's 3
And
billion
the
people
people
on the
that like
planet.
them, they like them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
You can
you know,
find
I'm not
anyone.
going to change for anybody. Like, look, and I don't even care. I don't care if I get 500,000 subs or anything like that. I do it because it's fun. And the people that vibe with me, they are diehard vibe with me. They are my hardcore Linkin Park fans. You know what I mean? Like, they, no matter what I do, they're with me. They know I'm genuine. They know I do this because I want to make money. I want to make them money, and I can tangibly change people's lives, and that's why I love to do it. So the voices are here to stay. Sorry, haters.
What's your longest term goal, like with all of this DeFi stuff? Like, what's your end goal?
Damn, I feel like I'm in an interview where it's like, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
You can get some voice.
Yeah, no, I mean, kind of like, so Potter, you and I touched upon this a week ago when we talked, but so, you know, my career path and my day job, I went with the flow. You know, I did college, I did this because that's what you're supposed to do, and I followed, you know, mommy's orders, and you know, did this, did good in school and everything, right? But like, you know, even as a teenager, I kind of, you know, realized that I was pretty good at like debates, right? If I was really passionate, you know, iPhone versus Android or whatever, if I chose a side, I would know the side I chose, and I would debate you to the ground, and not in a like a stubborn, like, you know, when you talk to someone stubborn, you're like, oh man, like he's not making any points, blah blah blah. Like, no, when I rarely choose a side and I'm, you know, defending it, you're not going to look at me like I'm just some stubborn idiot. Like, I know my shit when I talk about it. And I've always had that knack. I've always had this salesman kind of character and debate, you know, fierce force with me. But I never became a used car salesman. I've never went into any of that. I didn't study it in school. It's just a natural thing. And, you know, I've done the rat race. I've done it long enough to where, you know, I want to get out. And I had fun as a hobby, as a content creator with video game streaming. And, you know, then I realized, wow, I can mix that with my natural salesman tact. And so when I've made my first video, and even just this past year and a half, I've been doing this. I feel like it's my calling. I just feel like it's my natural God-given abilities that have come together, and I am able to really talk about projects that I believe in. I only talk about projects I believe in. You know, I'm going to have some misses or whatever, but you know, all these DMs that are like, oh yeah, you know, I like your content, you know, can I give you like, you know, $100 and you make a video of this, that, and it's like, no, I don't do paid promotions. None of my videos are paid promotions. They are all me. If I like your video, or I'm sorry, if I like your project, I will cover it. Okay. That's just me. And that's how I do it authentically. But yeah, where I see myself in the future, I hope to be doing this full time. I hope to be able to get out on my day job and I have more time to dedicate to researching better projects and bringing it to the people. You know, just really living off of crypto and vibing with people more on Telegram DMs and everything, and just teaching people about crypto, because we're in the infancy of it. You know, 10 years from now, crypto is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And you know, I want to be one of those leading voices. You know, no matter my size, it's about engagement, right? So like, you know, you got people that are 100,000 subscribers, and you know, per 10,000 views, they only have like 50 like buttons on their video. That is poor engagement. Where I'm a fraction of that size, but the like buttons are up there. The analytics are there. It's because people believe. Yeah. So it's not about the numbers. I don't really care about that. I just want to vibe with people, and I want them to love this shit as much as me. And the people that are with me, they're diehard with me, and I love them.
Heck yeah. Potter, your mic's off. Potter, your mic's off.
Potter, mic's off. Oh,
There you go.
Sorry, I gotta stop doing that. Do you feel that you will retire on crypto? You know, do you feel that that is a goal, or you're like, no, I don't think that you want to do this. Okay, so I'm going to say it though. No, I want to retire my 9 to 5. You know, I want my watch. You know, like, what are you planning on? You know, do you see yourself being a crypto millionaire, or are you saying, no, I think my calling is to be, you know, a producer in entertainment, like.
That's a really good question. I think my short-term goal though is really just to get out of the day job. I honestly, I don't care to live lavishly. I don't want Lambos. I don't need all this shit. Like, I just want to be able to live comfortably, live my life. You know, I'm recently married.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. And, you know, I think about even my own upbringing, and it's like, you know, my dad's always at work. And when he does come home, he just wants to spend time and like watch sports and stuff, because
Yeah.
that's what he's stuck in. Like, I don't want that for my future children or family. Like, I want to be able to be there for them. I want to be able to provide and not have to live paycheck to paycheck, or, oh no, we got to shop at the, you know, the dollar menu on McDonald's every night because that's all we can afford. Like, I don't ever want to have to worry about money, but I also don't want to like flaunt money either. Like, I just want to live comfortably and not have to be stuck dealing with contractors or a day to day. I have to wake up at this time. I have to go do this and talk to this, you know, whatever meeting. I have to be away from my family, you know, for all these hours. Like, I don't want that. I just want what everyone wants: financial freedom, and just to be free to do whatever you want and do it ethically. And that's kind of my short-term goal. Long-term, I don't know if I'm going to be an entrepreneur and do a bunch of stuff and like run a content creation ring and like, I have no idea.
Right.
Yeah.
I will tell you, and you know, we can kind of wind it up, but you know, I can tell you that you've given a lot to us, but if I can give anything back to you, and even to Matt, it is leaving my 9 to 5 changed everything. It changed. I had to pay everything off first, right? But once all of those, I have to pay everything a month was gone, I was able to just focus on, what do I need? You know, what are the consistent bills? And during a recession, when you hear about layoffs, I didn't have to worry about that. You know, I know that because I'm a developer, I know that I'm learning Solidity, I'm learning React, I'm understanding DeFi. These are all skills that can, you know, follow me out of this if it goes, you know, south. But the freedom of getting up in the morning, like this morning, I got up at 4 o'clock. I turned on YouTube and started learning more about, you know, different, deeper levels of React, because I didn't have to worry about a client. I didn't have to worry about personnel stuff. I was able to just do exactly what you talked about, but I was prepared and I planned, right? There's a big difference. You just can't go, I'm out. So if I can give anything back to you, is to say that your dream of doing that is a lot closer than you think.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I can't wait either.
Oh yeah, what are you gonna do when he retires?
Oh, you know, I want to grow up and just have, you know, lots of cars and women and donuts and my Ferrari and brum brum.
Vroom vroom. I love the vroom vroom.
So
yeah,
something I always hit our drip guests with, because I want those perspectives for people that are just learning about drip, don't know about drip. How long do you think drip is going to last? I know
drip.
That's a tough
Yeah,
one.
ideally. So I think the math and the projections are there. I think it's going to go in cycles for years and years to come. If I had to pick a number, I mean, we're only just past the 1 year mark, but I mean, I would easily say for the next 5 years.
Yeah,
for the next 5 years, I think drip would be very viable. It's going to cycle up and down, and you know, as long as people get educated to do the same thing, like, you know, compound while it's low, skim some profits while it's on the way up, and when it's at the top, as long as everyone's kind of doing that, just prepare and understand their cycles and be sure to be diversified in other projects while you're on the down cycle. So
Yep. SK Crpyto K's macro view on this whole wild, wild west of DeFi. We seriously appreciate you coming on and not only letting us nerd out and vibe with you, Potter and I, but our viewers. Seriously, it means so much. Again, if you have not subscribed to this guy, his link is down in the description below. Please go check him out. If you're feeling squirrely, every Thursday, Friday, we got a show coming at you. Potter, you got anything in closing?
No, you said it so well. Just, SK Crpyto K, thank you so much. And yes, I literally do say that every time I say anything.
She really does.
Nice.
You're awesome. You helped me, start. I didn't understand anything other than feelings. By watching your videos over and over and over and over and over again, they started to make sense. And because of it, I was able to use that as a tool for my retirement. So I can't say thank you enough. And I'm so humbled. We're both so humbled.
Absolutely.
That you came on our show today.
Yep.
Especially, with our 20 viewers.
No, it's okay. Look, I mean, I've been in content creation. I remember the early days, even streaming, and I could barely hold like 6 viewers. And then one day 6 became 8 and then 12, and it just kind of grew. And then to get partnered, you had to hold 40. And man, to hold 40 concurrent viewers, I was like, dang, okay, I made it. But, we all got to start somewhere. It's just about being consistent. But to both of you, Potter and Matt, I really do appreciate being here and lending my voice outside of just my own channel. And, just like y'all, I'm really early in this content creation stuff. And I don't plan on going anywhere. I think I'll be here and I'll be one of the most recognizable voices one day, 5-10 years from now. And I'm not going to change anything. And, as content creators, we only get better, we only grow. Just stay consistent with it. Rewatch your material. I'll throw you a little Easter egg too. If you go watch some of my earliest voices videos, like in the drip, catalog I have, you'll actually see that some of those voices are really different sounding than
like this sounds a lot different than what it used to when it used to be like this and stuff and blah blah blah, and there was echo.
There were effects and stuff that I didn't realize I was doing that may have been a little bit unpleasant to people's ears. And so I've always as a content creator, even when I was like video game streaming, I would always go back and just skim through my content. And I would always just be like, oh, that is cringe as shit. Why did I do that? Why would I say that? And so you just grow and you just watch your stuff and you tweak it and you get better. You evolve. You always change. And I can't wait to get on my day job because then I have more time to do that. And I have more time to network and meet wonderful people like yourselves. And so I look forward to growing, in the content creation space alongside y'all. I hope to be back one day. I kind of imagine this format y'all have. You know how cool it would be if you, instead of me, you were talking to Forex or you were talking to Bank Teller or someone. You guys you ask really good questions. I respect the content that you bring, and I think that this could be a fantastic thing for DeFi overall and collaborative efforts. And just know that from this point forward, y'all have a friend in me if y'all ever need anything or want to ask about a certain project. Or I'm pretty well connected now. That's one of the luxuries of the YouTube stuff I've done is I have first pass to talking to a lot of founders, and I get to connect a lot of people. Let me ask this real quick. Do y'all happen to be in Furio?
No, not yet.
Yeah, so Furio, you should check it out, but it's on a tear right now in the middle of a bear market. How, of all drip clones, is this one on a tear? And, CryptoZoa, have you heard that name before?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so CryptoZoas are really they're 1/5 of the entire drip investorship. So out of the 100,000,
what?
That whole group is 21,000 wallets out of the 100.
So let me tell you, when you got married, screwed up my technical analysis game. Because you were one of my main guys that I'd go to. I could go, okay, SK Crpyto K. Oh, I got to go look at this myself. So I really. Atlantis was hard for me to find out about, right? But we'll check them out. I didn't even know it was a drip fork. I'm in R2R, and so they were talking about it, but you just hear about so much, and
it's like what do you know is good or not.
I just felt like I was extended, but yeah, we'll take a look at it for sure.
Heck yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for that tip.
Yeah.
Pro tip.
Definitely. That's just a pro tip. And, you know, I'm pretty close with Cryptozoa. I respect their leader. His name's Patrick. And I actually had the pleasure of DMing him before I knew what he was going to become. Oh my gosh. It's like talking to I don't even know, like Michael Jordan before you knew he was the greatest of all time.
Wow.
And talking to Patrick, and I onboarded him. He's got 3 different drip teams. He's my direct on one of his teams. And my drip team's absolutely blown up because of him. But Cryptozoa is a big force. I would check them out, but just know that they don't throw their weight and their clout around just any old project. Okay, they've mainly supported drip. They've heavily also supported Elephant Money, and now, most recently, in the last 3-4 days, they've put their weight behind Furio. And I'd love to maybe even DM you guys and talk about it more. But
heck yeah.
There's certain projects that kind of stand above the rest, and you guys are already in drip. You're already in Elephant. You might want to check out Furio too. Just
noted.
Absolutely. That's highlighted at the top of the friggin' list of ours, without a doubt.
He's like, hang up. Yeah. Goodbye. We gotta go.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys for having me. It was a pleasure to be here. And Matt, I look forward to I look forward to talking to both of you again. Yeah, Potter, thank you. It was really nice getting to know you last week and today. And then Matt, really a pleasure to meet you, brother. And I can't wait to go forward and have some DMs and talk about projects and all sorts of great stuff. So yeah, don't be a stranger. Like, you know, a lot of people get like a celebrity complex. You know, some people I've talked to, not you guys, but like, they're like, oh my God, is that SK? Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, I put my pants on the same way you do, bro. And
allegedly.
It's great. Allegedly. Yeah. But, it was a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
I don't know. I can see you jumping up, trying to get both legs on the same time. I'm just saying. But no, thank you. And I was going to ask if you would come back, but you already said volunteered to come back. So boom.
Absolutely.
1000%.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know, you in the comments, drop it down below. What did you think? I mean, you know how we think. You know what we think of this guy. We really, really appreciate it. Obviously, we've been going for an hour and 12 minutes. It feels like we started 6 minutes ago. Seriously, I really, really appreciate it. This is truly a state of flow with this guy. So, builders, keep building.
Game on.
That was friggin' incredible.
Beautiful. Thank you.